What now, guys? Hear me? Yeah. It. Hmm. Test, test. Test, test. Anything? We're really having trouble here. Oh, you can hear me? All right, cool. So which one is this? All right, I think I got it. All right, cool. All right. So there's 3 different inputs for my Osmo Pocket 3, I guess, and this is the one I need to use. Good to know for the future. That's why I start things a little bit earlier. Said sound is definitely off. I noticed that during Taylor's stream, there was some issue as well. You know, but it could be you, Peter, because you had issues earlier. We can hear your voice over the music. I'm also going to turn the music down. Let's turn the music down. And then we'll make it a little bit better. Is that a little bit better now? Everything good? Cool. Let me actually swap out the cameras here for a second. So let's get the lighting up a little bit. All right. We haven't done a live stream in forever. Like just a regular, good old YouTube live stream. So it's been kind of fun to change it up a little bit. But I have 2 cameras set up now, so if we want to talk about something specific, I can bring it up and we can talk downward shot at the same time. Now, I know some people are going to go, it's in portrait form. I hate that. The reality is viewership is 10 times as much for the vertical format as it is for the horizontal one. 10 times the number. So it's a way for me to reach a lot more people. So I understand it. If you're watching it on a big screen TV or something like that, and you're getting this little narrow band, I get it. I get it. The watch today, I was wearing my $30 pick, but I've been taking a break from my budget challenge, and I wanted to wear something a little nicer. So this is my Vair racing chronograph that they have. I really like this watch. I'm a big fan. So it's one I really like. Looks good, feels good on, and it's a quartz solar movement, which is my favorite as well. So we have an opportunity here to cover anything you guys want, but I did want to get your feedback for those who are here about the new website. So we'll be talking about the website and what I'm hopefully going to be doing with it over the next couple of months and year. But that's something I definitely want to talk about. We can answer questions. I can pull up some gear if there's something specific you want to take a look at. If there's a question that you've asked in YouTube and I haven't gotten to that question, feel free to ask it again. And this is a good time for us to do it as well. All right. All right. And of course I'm actually putting the chat there. So if I happen to miss it or there's a specific question, people can see the question at the same time. Portrait mode for a chat on my iPhone sucks. No, I get it. I get it. But the way YouTube funnels content is so weird because when it comes to like vertical format, live streams, they shove that stuff like really hard, but for whatever reason, they don't tell even my subscribers very regularly like that the other thing is available. So it actually reaches a lot more people. Now, we won't do this every time, but we're trying it this time. The other thing is you might be seeing this also on Instagram. So when I do it through Instagram, it's also preferred in the vertical format. It looks way better in Instagram. Otherwise, it shrinks the video like really small. So yeah, there's that. So it's not that it's doubled up, it's that you're seeing the overlay. Hardness testers and the outdoor 55 video. I actually watched that video. I commented on it. I thought it was really, really interesting because I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that information. And as somebody who's a chemist, I found it fascinating. Like, I found it very interesting that there are two completely different hardness scales, and that certain hardnesses are only possible for items with a large mass, which is what he was talking about. You picked up a Leatherman Leap on AliExpress, really? No, I believe you. I believe that whatever you're watching it on, it's not the best experience, but we're trying some different things, so we might do it different next time. But for now, we're gonna do the vertical format. I know how it works normally on the horizontal, and we might go back to that. But for this one, we're gonna try vertical because I haven't really done vertical format on Restream, and you can welcome to leave a comment on this live stream and let me know what your experience is, because I can change it up. This is not necessarily something I'll do every time. Yeah, I don't know about AliExpress. So you might have seen products on this channel that I bought on AliExpress, but you'll notice I don't leave links. AliExpress is like the wild, wild west. And so if I give you a link and it turns out to be something that is taken over by someone who didn't or wasn't reputable, I would feel terrible. You know what I mean? If somebody bought the wrong thing. And I don't know about there being leaps and juice models on AliExpress. That seems awfully suspect. I don't think many made to China at all. Wrist check, this is the Ver R1 Racing, I think is what it's called. I have it with the Jubilee bracelet. Really, really nice. Quartz, solar movement, love it. Love it. Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, I had a feeling that if you're watching it on TV, it's going to be kind of a pain. Next time we'll do the horizontal. And I'll check the numbers, because if it turns out that the numbers are not that different, there's no reason not to do horizontal, because I can do that and that's no issue. I wanted to try it because my Whatnot streams are getting 15 or 20,000 views, which is so strange. But when I do horizontal format, it's like 300. So big difference in numbers. So I'll be curious if that's still the case. They may have changed it, so who knows. All right, so what do you guys want to talk? I mean, I didn't have a specific plan. In fact, this is sort of a last minute live stream. So I figure we can talk about whatever. I do want to bring up the website and talk about a little bit. So we can pull that up in a minute. I'm also going to try a couple different formats to see what layout looks best if we're doing vertical. So Jacob asked if there's any additional information about the Roxon that I featured. I'll go grab it for just a second. Where is it? Where go there? Oh, here it is. I gotta have the dark background so everything's in the dark. So this is the knife that he's referring to. So this is a prototype from Roxon. It is a hybrid between their modular blade system and the Roxon Flex system. So comes with a blade. I don't know if this is gonna have a pot clip. I'm hoping it does. I don't have any additional information on it right now. In the next few weeks, I should be getting a production prototype, which will be hopefully way better. I know it'll have G10 with texture for sure. Not sure about the pocket clip, but he felt pretty confident about putting that on. And then he was concerned that it might interact a little bit too much with this lock, but I think if it's short, I don't think it'll be a problem. Any idea what Victorinox is planning for the year? So Victorinox moves at a glacial pace, but they generally release things that are quite high quality. If you watch John Gadget's video on Victorinox and what they have coming up, you'll get a lot more information that will be useful to you if you're excited about Victorinox specifically. I don't think they're done innovating, and I don't think they're done changing things up. I just think they move at a much slower pace. You know what I mean? Let's see, what did I miss here? Yeah, I did. I don't know if the charge hammerhead is available anywhere else. I thought Shapeways came back though. Have you ever modded the packouts? I thought about it. I have considered it. Modding the packouts is really fun. I got some foam specifically designed for it and a cutout tool for it. I haven't finished doing that for my multi-tool pullout. What EDC tool product category do you feel is fully missing? Not just needs more entrance, but is almost entirely missing? Not much. I mean, we've covered a lot of bases, right? When was that, Peter? I don't remember when that whole thing was. Oh no, it was during one of my premieres that I did that. Feeling left out, Peter? Hold on one second. I need to go to my. Give me 1 minute. All right. So, where was I? I don't forget. Did I miss any questions? Looks like I did. Which do you prefer, the Last Resort, ST300? You know what's funny? There was a lot of interesting comments about that video that makes me rethink that whole subject matter. So I think we should probably rename it, because Last Resort doesn't make it clear what it really is. I mean, we're talking about what is basically an emergency multi-tool. And I think it's the only category that multi-tools can own exclusively, because they sit there until you need them. And hopefully they're on your person in a compact way. And so it made me think, does it make more sense for it to be larger and have larger implements, or would something like the rebar actually be a better tool because it's more invisible? I don't know. And I think that's an interesting discussion. I think that in general, the Super Tool 300 is better than the Swiss tool. And the reason isn't for what you think it is. There is space between all the implements in the Super Tool 300. If you are working in a cold weather environment, the implements in the Swiss tool can actually seize and become unusable. And that's not going to be true with the Super Tool 300. So I think that the Super Tool 300 has the edge. It's not a job. It's just for fun, Peter. Don't worry about it. And it's really just, because sometimes with live chats, people come in and they start saying stuff they shouldn't say. So if you see it and I don't, that's the only thing you have to keep aware of. And with this many people, it just means enough people around that somebody will catch it. Maybe not you, maybe Tim, maybe Ramses, who knows? Also, I don't know if I can see, is anyone from Instagram on here? It should show your comments as well, which is cool. That's the nice thing about Restream. When it does a multicast, it actually drags all of them together. In fact, let me check to see if Instagram is going. Let me check. Is it showing live? Is it showing live? It's not really showing live, is it? I thought it would work. Maybe it's because I set that up a little bit too early. It's been a long time since we've done a live stream, so just on YouTube. So I'm still refreshing myself. I'm the only one in the company. I do it all, so I have to remember this stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, Tim, you are the boss, right? How about an updated tiers comparison? Lots of new products out since your last tier. There are so many, in fact, that it's been difficult to do them because every time I make a tier list, I have to rewrite it. It's literally that many. And once I saw just how many new tools could be coming soon on AliExpress, it made it even worse. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to separate entirely sub $50 multi-tools from everything else. I think I have to like take budget tools and make them their own tier list, and then everything above it we'll discuss, like, right? Because I don't think you can do it all in one shot. I mean, the video would be 2 hours long. Be a long video. Can I make the bottom half of the screen solid black? I think I can. Now, that being said, I'm hesitant to mess around too much with things while I'm doing this because, let's see, I can do, let me try this one. There you go. Did that work? I think it worked. Better? Yay? How's that? Yeah, we're going to be doing more of them. We're definitely going to be doing more live streams. You know what it is? Because I find right now, especially because I'm in the transition to be moving to another state, it's difficult to get everything together to make videos these days. It's just so much chaos. So this is something I could just kind of pick up and do and answer a lot of questions all at once and be able to spend some time with the community, which I really prefer. I just like doing it. And and Whatnot is great. It has its purpose, but right now I don't need to use the Whatnot. I will be doing at least one more major sale before I move though. So I will be, instead of doing like a lot of like multiples a month, there will be one really big sale that'll be like 3 hours long. It's gonna be really long. It's gonna be like really long. And I'm gonna sell hundreds of things that day. So a lot of stuff. Welcome, welcome. Divide the multi-tools, 30s, and there's really very, very few multi-tools under $30. There are a ton under 50. So the difference between that tier is really, really huge. It's something we're going to talk about a lot when I make my next budget video, where we talk about building an EDC under 30. Like I did my under 20 video, which I was really happy with a lot of the stuff that I used. The under 30 is the most important tier of all EDC gear. I really believe that. What you can get for under $30 is wild. If one wanted to buy a Leatherman with cost not being an issue for all-around use, which one would you choose? All-around use. You're going to have to be more clear that when you say all-around use. How are you carrying it? I think is the biggest question you got to answer. Are you going to carry it on a sheath? In a sheath, I should say. Or are you going to carry it pocket? That defines so much. And if you're not going to carry it in your pocket, if you're going to carry it in a bag, then I wouldn't buy a Leatherman at all. I can get you one, Tim. No big deal. Rogan Tools. Rogan Tools. What's Rogan Tools? Worth the hype. I don't know what you're referring to. Why can't I picture it right now? I feel like I should know this. Help me out, Shelp. What do you mean by Rogan Tools? Maybe you can help me out. Oh, you mean this flashlight right here that I'm carrying in my pocket and have been carrying for over 2 weeks? You mean this one? The one I've been using every single day because it's the second or first best flashlight on the market today? You mean this light? Yeah. What's my thoughts? There isn't a better flashlight under $30 other than the H16. 900 lumens, 32,000 candela, and it can be programmed exactly the way you want it. Now, it's not perfect. It's like one step from being perfect, but it is damn close. It is ridiculous, this light. So good. Like, It's disgusting how good this light is. And unlike the 2AA, which doesn't have a low enough mode, this actually does go low enough that I can use it in the dark, which is phenomenal. These are $30 right now. Here, I'm going to actually use this as an opportunity to go through some stuff on Amazon. All right. All right, so let's see how this goes. Share screen, Amazon, share. So the Ace Beam, this thing has not been around for long. That's why. Wait, it's 20% off, so it's actually only $23 right now. That's wild. This thing's nuts, by the way. The SFT25R, it's probably the best LED for tactical use right now available. Super advanced. Here, I'll put a link. Oh, where's the overlay? There we go. All right. But yeah, it's really good. Now let me see something. I want to try. I don't like the way this is showing, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. But no, definitely check that out. It's worth it. The Ace Beam Tech AA 2.0. Make sure it's this one. You'll know because of the clip. You want to make sure that it has that reversible pocket clip. Really important. And don't forget the 20% off coupon. But really, really good. Like the only flashlight that they make that's better, and that's only because it has 0 flaws, is the H16, which is this one. But I wouldn't go with the 1000 lumen variation. I would go with the what is it? The Nietzsche 519A. So this one, I think the black one that it comes with, 650 lumens, 90 plus CRI. That I would go, if I were to combine two, it'd be this one or the TAC AA. Those are the two best flashlights in this $30 category. It's not actually close. Not even close. Both of these come with a Type-C recharging 14500 that uses standard AA. Both of them are IP68 waterproof. And this has a truly perfect UI. The other one is close. And yeah, really good. Really good. All right, so let me stop stream. Where's that? Stop with the... Where's the buttons? Not liking the overlay and the way... Why is that not working? Let me do something here. There we go. I don't know why it had an issue. But yeah, the Ace Beam is really, really good. Why are we having so much issues here? Give me 1 second. I cannot figure out why it is doing that. Okay, if I close this, what happens? There we go. It fixed it, but I don't know why I had to close the window in order to make it work. It's very strange. Yeah, would I recommend the Work Pro 18-in-1 multi-tool as a budget multi-tool? Absolutely, absolutely would. It is, however, quite a bit further behind the $30 tools. I'm actually going to switch the camera for the time being. So we have a bunch of tools we can pull out here, and I want to show you something that I think is quite a bit better. So he's referring to this one here, that one. But there is quite a few multi-tools under that $30 price point that are worth pulling out. So let me... The difference between $20 and $30 is just wild. Where is the other one? There's specifically, that's not it. Is that it? That might be it. I think this is one of them. Okay. So Bibury comes out with multiple variations that I think are as good or better, like significantly so. I would say that the difference in $10 cost between these two tools is well worth it. You're getting a lot more for the money. The tool set is a little bit better. Now, the one thing about these that is really good is the spring-loaded pliers. And they don't have replaceable cutters, which actually makes them quite strong. Okay, so you have that. But they have a weakness, and that is this spring bar. If you use it hard, you could break this little spring bar right here. A couple of people had that happen. Now, the benefit too is that it doesn't have the long tools next to the pliers, so you don't have any pinching. So that's another good thing. So not exactly a replaceable tool at $20. But I have to say that the hybrid tools that are being offered by Bibury, first of all of them come smooth like this, which is just wild considering I bought all these and they still are smooth. But I think these are a little bit better. I think these are generally quite a bit better, actually. SK05. Oh yeah, the Pro from Loop. They actually did a pretty good job. I was really worried that thing was going to be overpriced. Thankfully, they didn't completely go insane on the pricing of that. Thank God. And it's a decent UI. It's just not perfect. This one is also $30, but I think it comes quite a bit behind the hybrid. I don't even know what else to call it. Maybe we'll call it the Frankenstein tool. This is more of a true Leatherman wave clone, and this is like a little bit of everything thrown in because it has the microbit driver, it has an internal diamond file, it has 5 implements on this side, which is wild. So 5 implements, and then on the other side you have the bit driver. Yeah, really good. For $30, it's quite a big jump in my opinion. And the bit driver, I think alone would be worth it. Do you know if Roxon will ever have a mini plier implement for the companion? You mean the Flex? I think Chad means, is there going to be a smaller version of the Flex plier tool, like something that in the 5-ounce range that maybe has G10 and maybe has only short implements and not have? I can neither confirm nor deny. That's all I'm going to say. What are your thoughts on the Rock Tool Gen R with S35BN blade? I think that's awesome. So let me see if I can pull up their website. Rock Tool. I think that it's actually only on their actual website. Yeah, it's only on their website. Man, they're charging a lot for the Gen R on their website. It's like, oh wait, with S35BN. Oh, wow. So with the blade installed, S35BN blade steel, they're charging $75 for it, which is, it's this tool right here, except that the blade is exchanged with S35BN. So I don't think that makes sense. And here's why. If you go to the blade is 30, right? The blade is 30 and the tool here is 30. It's the same tool made by the same manufacturer, just labeled differently. So you'd be better off getting this tool right here from Bibury and then buying the $30 blade, and you're still coming in cheaper than theirs by $15, right? So the Gen R is $75. So you're saving $15 by buying them separately versus together. Does that make sense? Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm currently carrying a new prototype of the Sidekick. I can't really show you what the upgrades are going to be, but I'm working on it. I will tell you one thing that is going to be true is we will be having black with yellow interior, which is amazing. In version 2, but I am definitely working on all of the feedback that I've been getting about the Sidekick wallet, and I'm I'm already looking forward to that future iterations. But I'm glad people are liking it. I mean, it means a lot to me that people are enjoying it. But we are making changes based on feedback already. It might be a while before the second gen comes out, but we're already there. We're already working on it. All right. Has anyone been here who has not seen these things? These incredible $30 hybrid tools? Has anyone looked at the newest small vibrary Fiskars tool? So a couple people have already played with it. Austin, I just did my video on it, and he's referring to, let me go grab it. Ugh. You know, my pouch of mini tools is getting really heavy these days. So I have this pouch that I keep all my mini tools in. So we have all the stuff in here. So he's referring to this one. Where are they? This one and this one. So these mini tools are quite a bit heavier than you would expect them to be, but I think they offer a lot of potential for modding. I think they might even be possible to fit in a Swiss Army knife in some cases, or vice versa. I'm actually really tempted to take a 74mm scissor and install it inside this plier-based one. I really like the plier-based one. It's pretty cool, but a little bit heavy. Like, I like to see G10 handle scales on this. Would be nice. Yeah, no, I mean, the improvements are definitely warranted. And the best part, the one thing I can spoil about the future version, we will still be under 30, which makes me very happy. All right. Is there any other questions you guys have I can answer? I keep my stuff pretty organized. That's why I have so many of those packouts. They store the gear so that if I need to pull something for reference, that's the whole point. It's well worth it to me to have all those drawers because I can then identify where something is, pull it out, and talk about it. Yeah, these are really the scalpel blade part I like. So that part about the tool I do like. I think these make a lot of sense because then you can actually make them bladeless in theory. My problem is with the rest of the tool set. Like, I want to get rid of that, and that. Like, I want Phillips flathead scissor, right? Phillips flathead scissor on this little tool would be a home run right there. You know what I mean? Whereas this tool set, by the way, makes a ton of sense outside of the package opener for this version, which has the, what do you call it? Serrated scissor. This thing is awesome. This makes perfect sense, right? A glass breaker with a medical shear, plus the scalpel holder, plus the pull cutter. Like, this tool set makes a ton of sense. It just doesn't make sense with the plier. Yeah, I know, right? And these are, the one that doesn't have the pliers, this one is currently available. The plier one is already sold out. So they are bringing it back. I actually talked with them recently. They are definitely bringing that thing back. They're also listening to the feedback. So they might also have a variation in the near future where this has a different tool set. And I'm hoping that's the case soon. Preferably with one that has G10 scales instead of steel so that it's lighter. Now, this one actually makes a ton of sense. I think right now, as it is, I would carry this or put it in a kit. Like, I think this is great. In fact, I don't know where my little Altoids tin is, but wouldn't that be a sick Altoids tin multi-tool? Where did I put that thing? I don't know where I put it. I don't look at it right now. I do need to change out. I need to charge. This is the first time I've actually had to charge this flashlight. It's dead for the first time since I started carrying it, which is wild. I think I've charged it 0 times. Your plier version was defective. What was defective about it? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys. Let me grab a different flashlight. I'm going to be walking around a lot here, I have a feeling. Yeah, flashlight dead. Okay, is this one dead? Nope, this one's not dead. Okay, good. This is another one of my favorites. This is one of the only Phoenix flashlights, in fact, that I really, really like. This is the, what is it called? The LD12R. It's a little expensive, but it is quite cool. I like this one. So we're going to carry that one for now. All right. Oh, I wonder if I still have, oh, I forgot to leave the pocket clip on. This is my old mini tool that I modified. I tried to put a pocket clip on it. It did work. I used like Leatherman wave pivots. But yeah, I also decided to modify the flathead into a 2-dimensional Phillips. That's a blast from the past. But yeah, that tells me that there's something wrong with the geometry. Yeah, so good to replace it and remove it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have many 21700 powered flashlights that I can carry easily. I do like, there's a couple of them that are really good, but I don't think they're even necessary these days. There's been so many releases that are just obscene, and they're 18650. Like this one right here, the EC20 with the SFT 25R. This thing is nuts. Yeah, it's bizarre how bright this light is for no, like, it's just ridiculous. And like even this light, like this is powerful in some cases than even a 21700 that's designed for flood, right? Because it has a higher candle rating. Whoops. You know, I kind of gave up on Phoenix. I talked to the rep at, I don't remember what show it was. It was probably the SHOT Show or something like that. And I explained to him why the user interface for the P25R, I think it was the 25R. I can't remember. It's the one that uses the 18350. Was not good. And he, you know what his argument was? His argument for that was, oh, just buy a different flashlight. That's a terrible argument. Just a terrible argument. Yeah, no, they're great. They're great pack lights for sure. But if I have a 21700 flashlight, it has to do a certain thing. It has to be capable. Let's see if I have one in here. Might have put them away. It has to be a power bank too. That's my requirement for 21700s. If you're gonna have a 21700 flashlight, it should be a power bank too. Yeah, I mean, I got a couple in here, but yeah, that's my big thing. I just don't feel like they're willing to change, and that's a really bad strategy. Like Surefire is another one of those. Not Surefire. Streamlight's another one of those. Really nice people, really good, but they're just like kind of set in their ways, charging a lot of money for flashlights that are really underperforming by comparison. I agree. So Nathan says UI is everything. No point in handling someone a light that they have no idea how to use. I agree, 100%. 100%. There's no reason to have a flashlight with a bad user interface, period. Now, Phoenix quality is really high. It's just that their user interfaces don't make sense. If you have 2 buttons on your flashlight and your user interface is anything other than perfect, there's a problem. And if you're calling something a tactical light and it's not giving you straight access to turbo with 1 click, that's a problem too. And there's a lot of flashlights out there, and Phoenix is really guilty of this, that say they're quote unquote tactical, but you could have left it on a low mode and then you click it once and then it doesn't come in on turbo. So yeah, no, it's a problem. It's a problem. I mean, the FBI is just like any other agency. If you don't do your research, you know, that, and also it's a bid issue. It's how much the company bids to represent. So that doesn't, you know, there's a whole expression about military grade. You know, military grade is, you know, not the best grade. And it comes down to it is government agencies, they take the lowest bidder, right? They take the lowest bidder. So that doesn't mean it's the best product. It just means that of all the people who bid, that was the lowest bid. And streamlights are not bad, and they're not bad quality, but they are, however, underpowered and overcost. That's the issue with streamlight. And there's also this weird thing. A lot of people still believe that streamlights are actually made in America, and they're not. They've been made in China for many years. So there you go. And don't get me wrong, they're good people, very good customer service, but it just, it's true for a lot of brands, but they use the cheapest LEDs that are inefficient, and they wonder. Like, it feels like Ace Beam's the one leading the pack right now. Even Olight's falling a little bit behind because they're using the SFT25R for their quote-unquote tactical lights, and then they're using actual high CRI Nietzsche LEDs for their more user-friendly lights, which is just so smart, right? That's such a good strategy. I don't get it. Do not get it even a little bit. Yeah, I agree. A proper moonlight setting. So like this one, I believe if you hold press, you get the moonlight. Like that should be a standard, especially if it's a side switch. If I double press, I get turbo, which I do. Hello. And a triple press for strobe, which I'm not going to accomplish here. I'm not going to do that. But yeah. They set the standards, then accept the lowest bidder. Yeah, but they don't necessarily know what that standard needs to be. And by the way, their standards are really, really low. Like what they're suggesting, they're like, they want a pocket flashlights like 350 lumens, right? That's kind of their thing. Like this will outperform any stream light up to 18650 on their entire thing. And it's powered by a AA, okay? Like it's not close. And this is designed to be truly tactical. Just curious, when did you get into EDC? Well, you know, only recently did they call these things EDC, but I've been into stuff you carry since I was a little child, right? There's literal videos of me on the beach with like that little Play-Doh knife just hanging out of my swim shorts. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't call it that. It's just a recent thing. I don't know who coined the phrase or what, but I've been into it forever. But I really got active online when I quit gaming. So I had a real issue, a real addiction to it. So I decided to quit, and I needed something to engage my brain. So for whatever reason, that's what I latched onto. I went back to the things that I used to do when I was younger, which is fishing a lot, being outdoors, and somehow I fixated on my love of multi-tools, which started in 1999. And yeah, that was that. And that's how we kind of kept going. That was about, I think the video started maybe 5 or 6 years ago, something like that. I went from having like one multi-tool at that time to having what, hundreds now? Maybe not hundreds, at least 100. At least 100. Has anyone tried this, by the way? The SOG Flash. Has anyone here had one? Carried it for any amount of time? I probably should take some of these out because they are discontinued. Like, this was a really cool tool. I have never been more wrong than I was with this. So I made a video. Remember that time I was doing like 2 videos an hour, like at YouTube Shorts, just to see what would happen? Well, one of the videos I made was about this, which is the SOG Sync 1 Travel. And I don't think I've ever been more wrong about a multi-tool in my life. There was a ton of people that said they would buy it and or have it, or they already did. This is a tool that was designed to be a belt buckle multi-tool, and it actually has a pretty substantial pair of pliers. Pretty cool. I mean, SOG has some of the best ideas in the multi-tool world, and their execution is by far the worst. I mean, Maglite was the shit. I mean, I had like 6 Maglites. I thought they were the shit. And they, by the way, they were. They were the shit. Nothing could touch them. And they were American made. And then the owners, and this is still true, the owners just refused to adapt or improve. And so they're about 10 years behind the curve now. So yeah, Maglite's basically toast. SOG Flash 2, the first one is way better. So not this one then. You have a different one. This is the one. I don't know why they put an assisted blade in it. That just makes me so annoyed. Sucks. Like it requires now to have a safety because of that, where I have to like remember that every single time. And they say what you want, but there are plenty of places where they're going to call this quote unquote an automatic, even though it's not. On the Ace Beam, what is your preferred model? I actually leave it on mode 5, which is turbo, and then it goes from the highest, which is turbo, down to the low. So that's the preferred mode set that I leave it in. I wish they had 2 other versions. I wish that mode 3 was low, medium, high, all the way up to turbo, basically, but without mode memory. And then the 4th mode, I wish it was just medium and turbo, but started with turbo. So it would be like turbo, medium, back and forth. That would be great. That's the only difference that I need from them. If you didn't have a D-cell Maglite in the 90s, did you ever live? No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what the only thing is that use D batteries these days? Is a Maglite. That's it. There was a time I was gaming 70 hours a week. That's how bad I had it at one point. It was bad. It was real bad. Olight, there's some Olight flashlights that are very, very good. Unfortunately, I think they're coming out with too many models too quickly and not asking that simple question, should I? They don't ask that question much anymore. They just go, can we? We're like, sure, let's do that. And thankfully, they have such a powerful following, I don't think it affects them that much. People are more than happy to pick up, you know, limited versions of X, Y, or Z. But I don't think a lot of the new releases are really worth picking up. But Olight's great, and their customer service is unparalleled. I will tell you, they don't hassle you at all. You have an issue with their flashlight, they send you a new one. It's amazing. I still don't think there's many lights on the market that can beat the Baton 4 Premium with the charging case. It's pretty difficult. Pretty hard to improve. What would be a good mini multi-tool for my wife to use at home with good scissors? Not for the kitchen use. Mini multi-tool for my wife to use at home with good scissors. Good scissors, eh? That's a good question. Well, we have some good ones in here, and I would say keeping it small might be good, but also still capable. What about something like this? This is the Mini Flagship Pro, and in fact, a Mini Flagship, and I think they've improved it since this version. It has a pretty substantial pair of scissors right here, which are quite nice, and they cut very, very well. And then on the other side, you still have a small pair of pliers, which are spring-loaded and relatively easy to use. So if you need to apply a little bit more force, this is a pretty good solution, I think. And it's quite small, can fit into most bags. I would check that out. And it's also sub $30, which is nice. GT Nano 3.0. I honestly haven't seen, let me look at it real quick. GT Nano 3.0. What's so great about it? What is the difference? So built-in Type-C charging port, that's great. 700 lumens, 400 meters of throw, that's pretty sick. Built-in Type-C port. Looks solid, man. Looks awesome. Where's the Candela rating? Does it still use the 10440 with the extender is the question. I would imagine so. $40,000 candle power, that's a lot. It stays on for about a minute, so it's similar to the TAC AA, but I think it's less versatile because this actually can use a AA. But the one from, like, it's actually not that much brighter than this. It's only about 8,000 candle power versus 32,000. And this has a slightly higher lumen count with a lot better user interface and a proper tail switch. I think this is actually a better light in general. It's also probably a lot cheaper, is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's probably a $50 light. Yeah, the Warrior X4 is phenomenal because it's Type-C and also has the proprietary charging. That's weird. Just get them back, and they'll definitely be able to fix it. Usually that's the case. That's been the general gist people have told me about. Any ideas on pen mounting solutions for a Leatherman? Depends on which Leatherman. So there's already been some great solutions for pens, things like the Leatherman Charge or the Leatherman Free Series tools, whether it's the ARC or the P4. So for those, it's actually quite easy because you can fit underneath the scissor. That's not bad. If it's only $34, it's pretty close. But I think that the Ace Beam is much easier to carry. That's my opinion. Also, it doesn't look like that even comes with a pocket clip, which is a no for me. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories like that, Nathan, where Olight has gone above and beyond. They understand that the most important thing is that your customer is so overwhelmed with a positive experience that they come back and buy again. They know that. They know that you're worth X number of purchases in the future. And so they reward you for patronizing them. That's what a lot of companies don't understand. And they could learn a lot from Olight. We love them or hate them, they are really fast on their customer service. And they go over above and beyond, usually. I've heard some great stories. I mean, that's usually why I'm still recommending them, because they are a little bit behind on some of the hardware. Like, I do think the light we talked about, the Javelot, here, let me grab it. What's it called? Javelot Turbo 2, that's what it's called. I do think this light is wild. This is one of their recent releases. It's a huge light. This thing has, what was it, like 400,000 candle power, something like that? Truly ridiculous. That's the low. That's the ultra low. Yeah, no, they have some great stuff. And then they have some not so great stuff. It's just like any other brand. I think just that they have too many models, what it comes down to. They're just not focused. Yeah, they're very good about throwing in those extras or incentivizing people to make purchases. They give you a lot of benefits. There's a lot to be learned from Olight. If you were a company right now trying to find a foothold in the EDC space, you gotta look at how Olight does its thing. Like they are really good at what they do. Very good at what they do. All right. Oh, Zap's here. So, if you guys don't know, Zap Wizard is a designer and a maker. He is currently producing some of the coolest gear and accessories for Leatherman tools that you can buy, all made with SLS, which is selective laser sintering. and very, very cool. Let me show you. I actually have a couple of them. Pull out here. These are some examples. So here's a Super Tool 300 sheet that Zap made. Really, really strong, but still flexible. And this is one of their Leatherman Surge sheets. This one's horizontal. I made a mistake getting the horizontal. I should have gotten the attachment for like the multi-use, because what I found is that the spring tension is just enough that if you don't hold it from both sides, you can launch your tool. A little bit of a mistake on my end. So I think the horizontal is cool, but make sure that if you do get it, you grab both sides of the thing. Did make that mistake. I really like the Leatherman Wave horizontal sheet though. This one is sick. Very nice. So these are all, because of the way they're printed, they have the same strength in all directions. Pretty neat, right? Did a whole video on it if you want to check it out. I'm looking into a minimal wallet to carry a few cards and a little bit of cash. Yeah, Austin, I got the perfect wallet for you. I got the perfect one. Now this one is the more premium of the bunch, but this is one of my favorites. It's actually something I touched on with him. This is from Patriot Leather Goods. This is the Meta Katharina leather, which I don't even know if you can get anymore, but he sells one of these, American made, some of the best leather you can, for around $45. It stores cash without needing to fold it, which folds over, like you just tuck it in with that. It's actually wide enough that I'm able to usually store a pen in it as well. In fact, I think I got the pen that I carry with it. Here's another version. So right next to it, I got the little notebook and a pen, and it's so compact. And then on the back, you have a little slot for your 2 most used cards. This is the standard leather. Look at how nice it patinas. Highly recommended. Can't say enough about Patriot Leather Goods. Great stuff. Done a ton of videos on it. I highly, highly recommend. Very inexpensive, made in America. Super awesome. It's just a really just no BS, just a wallet, but it does have enough width that it stores a pen, which I really like that it can do that. It also is compact enough and kind of holds everything together that you can put a couple coins in, and then it'll actually hold it temporarily. Like, I wouldn't do that all the time, but it does work. Yeah, it is a little bit narrow. I recommend putting 2 cards in initially, and that'll actually stretch it out so that you actually have a better time going in and out. So just do 2 cards for a little while, and it will stretch itself. I like front pocket wallets. This is a good front pocket wallet. I usually prefer that. I used to sit on my wallet in the back, but it was doing damage. It was actually doing damage to my spine, and I was having trouble sleeping. I didn't realize it was causing me to have trouble sleeping, which is wild. Have you ever? Yes, I have tried them. Boruit flashlights, they're okay, but I tend to favor the Rovivon a little bit better because I know their customer service is good, and I also think they are innovating a little bit more on that. There also isn't as big a difference in price, especially if you buy the Rovivons on sale. Would you Open Mini 2 fit? Would the Open Mini 2 fit in it? It does not fit. It's too tall. The original one, which is shorter, I think it still doesn't fit. Let me check. I can pull it out right now. Here's one. Where's the other one? Let's see. Here we go. Well, maybe the original does, actually. Let me try that. No, maybe. Maybe. So I think it's just, so I'm using what they're calling this is the Zebra Mini Expands. They don't really sell them. I had to buy them from Japan direct. I mean, kind of. It's a little bit wide. It fits the bullet space pen pretty well. It's a little bit on the, it's a slightly long, but it does work. I found that it worked pretty well with this, which is the right length, but also it worked really well with one of the pocket pens. So the pocket pens are a little bit wider, but they have the right length. So pocket pen has no problem, so it goes in nicely. And the cache still fits next to it. Here, let me grab some cache here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here. So you can see the cache still fits in the slot without any issues. And the way you do it, you stick it in like that, and then the whole thing gets tucked in, right? And then you still have access to your cards, cache, and you can put a ton of cards in here, like a lot. You can expand it a lot. I also would leave sometimes a L-shaped T6, T8 wrench in the bottom in this little corner so that I could adjust a knife on the fly. That's like a bit I don't usually use, but when I need it, it's like clutch. So yeah, pretty sweet. Yeah, Rovivon is some of the best keychain flashlights, and you can get them for less than $20 if you look around. If you just wait till like one of the Amazon sales, you'll find it pretty cheap. Ah, you carry a knife, wallet, and multi-tool in the same. I get that. I find that beyond the one clip rule, meaning that like one clip per side, once you go beyond one, you can't even use the pocket. I find that if you go beyond that, you just can't. Like right now I'm carrying this. This is a fixed blade that was designed by David C. Anderson over at Knife Center. He sent me both versions of this, and I have had a hard time keeping them out of my pocket. I love the sheath, love the design. So comfortable, so easy to use. I've been using it instead of a folding knife, and I almost don't want to do folding knives anymore. I love fixed blades so much. So good. But you're right, like if I have that fixed blade, I basically only put a wallet in there, and that's like the only two things that I have in my right pocket, because I don't pull out my wallet all that often, right? It's okay that it's a little bit more difficult to grab my wallet. And then in my left pocket is where I keep my flashlight in that corner, and my phone kind of migrates between my front left pocket and my back pocket. Or actually, I have mag pockets, so that's where I usually put my phone. I have it in my mag pocket. Pretty sweet. Well, Nathan, that also depends on your pants. Like, I'm wearing the LA police gear jeans, which have huge fifth pocket. Like, it's monster. Some people's phones could fit in here, I think. Like, ridiculously big. I love it. But not everyone's fifth pockets can do that. I just think I just think folders are strictly worse fixed blade or a strictly lighter, less capable multi-tool. I know. Like, but that's the way I've always been. I mean, way before I started carrying folding knives, I carried a Leatherman Wave on my hip, and that was the only thing I had. And so it doesn't feel weird for me to carry something like 9 ounces as my dedicated folding knife, right? Because this is a folding knife with a pocket clip. That's what it is. It just happens to be a lot heavier and does a lot more. Carry folding knife, wallet in front, right? Multi-tool AirPods in the front left. That makes sense. Phone back right, keys front left. You know, that would be fun. You know, that'd be a really interesting like video. Like, where do we put all this stuff? That'd be a fun video idea, I think. Trying to figure out where things make the most sense. I do believe that there's such a thing as the one clip rule, right? One clip per pocket. I don't like things touching. I don't like multiple things. How many times have you reached in to grab something and launched an item because you had too many things clipped to your pocket. That has happened to me too many times to count. So I just don't do it anymore. Like, it's basically one clip rule. It's kind of the way I live with that, because I just hate launching things on the ground. It sucks. What's the best blade for a warehouse where we deal with a lot of boxes, but not a box cutter knife? Ugh. The only problem with that distinction, Manny, is if you cut a lot of boxes, you're gonna really damage a knife in one very, very fine area. So this is a great example, right? You have a sheep's foot blade shape. So if you were to cut a lot of boxes with it, what's gonna happen is this last, say 3/4 of an inch, half an inch, this is going to get most of your wear. And the rest of this is gonna be perfectly fine. So if you do that and you start sharpening it, you'll start getting a weird transition. You'll get a lot more wear up here. It'll start getting thicker at the tip, and it becomes a problem. So there is a place for utility knives. That being said, I have one knife I think would work really well. I think what's great about it is you can use more parts of the edge to cut open boxes. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Is it in here? Is it in there? I don't think it's in there. Might be in my, because it's one of my 5. It's one of my 5 budget knives that I actually use on a regular basis. Yeah, the folding box knife is better, but there's one knife I think might fit the bill. Just one. Where is it? Do I not have it in here? I thought I had it in here. I guess not. I will find it. Give me a minute. The knife is the Nightshade. Okay, it's the Nightshade by Vosted. Now I just had to figure out where it is. I swear I have like 16 of these things because I like them so much. There's another box of knives somewhere. Too much stuff. There's going to be a big sale coming up, I'll tell you that. There it is. I found it. All right. This is the knife that I think might be a good choice. And the reason is it has all belly, which means wherever it touches the surface is a leading edge. Because it's canted downwards, you actually get an added advantage where you can use different parts. Like if I wanted to say use this part of the blade, I could do that and cut open a box. Or I could lean a little bit further forward and I can work along this edge, all the way from here, all the way up, and still clear my hand on the cutting. So what you're doing is you're using more of the blade and you're dulling less, right, in a specific area. So you're getting longer use time before you have to go through a sharpening. This is also a very unique experience, I think. I think that the Nightshade is a very, very unique knife. It's one of the few knives that I carry in the budget, I would say sub $70 range, and I think it's a very good one. Highly recommended. It's a weird knife because it cants itself so much. Weirdly enough, too, the new knife that Best Damn EDC came out with, the Klingman, is similar in how much it leans forward. The other benefit, oh, you know what? I just realized something. The other thing I want to say is you can do a trick. Where did I put it is the question. Here it is. You can do a trick with a serious clip point knife. So clip point knives have an added advantage. And this one's not a great example, but if you have a really steep curvature here, you can turn the blade around and use the back edge to cut boxes open. I've done that plenty because it keeps the tape and stuff away from the edge of the blade. So I highly recommend doing that with a knife that has a really, really severe clip point, like it actually almost bends backwards, right? That would be another way you could do it. Have I seen the petrified fish viper? I don't know. I don't think I've seen that one. Let me take a look. Viper. What's the Viper look like? Ooh, I like that. Oh, I like that a lot. But yeah, that's actually very similar. That's very similar, in fact, to the shilling cutter. I like that a lot. Ooh, that's okay. Let me get the link for this one. So, or this one. Yeah, let me show you. So this is what they're referring to, petrified fish Viper, and I like it. I like it a lot. That's a nice knife, and it's K110, which is a slightly better grade of D2. It has a crossbar lock, which I really like. Dude, that's a nice knife. Really nice. Ooh. Petrified Fish makes good knives too. So 15% discount, so that would make it like $45. So that's actually quite a bit cheaper as well. That's a good choice. That's a very good choice. For sure. No, so definitely go with the with that. Actually, probably be a cheaper knife than the shilling cutter from Nightshade, from what do you call it, Vosteed. Sorry, mixing names together. Just got your Viper today. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna pick one up. That looks awesome. If it stays consistently under 50, that might be one of my favorite knives in that range. I wish it was a little bit cheaper, but K110 is an imported steel from Germany. So I get it. I get why that's more expensive. Makes sense. I like folding knives because you guys like folding knives. I like to be aware so that I can offer expertise when necessary. But personally, I would rather carry a fixed blade. That's just my personal preference. A fixed blade plus a multi-tool. Like that combo is just so capable. If I can pick 3 things to carry with me every day, it would be a multi-tool, a flashlight, and a fixed blade. That pretty much covers me. And if I'm being real with you, I use the pliers on the multi-tool and the flashlight more than I use my knives. All right, so all these go back in here. I don't know what that's doing in there. That doesn't need to be in there. Probably should go through this. I probably can put this up for sale. This is the MKM in MagnaCut. I never really jived with it because it has a MagnaCut blade, yes, but then the rest feels pretty not the best. I think I'm going to put that in the bin for sale for the future, for sure. Dom, I need to check out the Ares EDC. I have 2. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Send me a link. For sure. Love to check it out. All right, well, we're kind of done with that. Let me switch back to the front-facing camera for a little bit. All right. All right. And we've been on here for about a little over an hour. Is there any other questions you guys have while we're here? I also have some cool stuff coming up with that $30 video. That's not it. Oh. Some new fixed blades that I want to show. These are like the $30 EDC blades that I could find. I found some really cool ones. Thankfully, Stassa23 has my back on this. Check this out. This is a $30 knife with a pretty damn good sheath too. This is DC53 steel, so that's a variation of D2. Really nicely done. Great handle, great taco sheath. Oops, It's always reversed. I like this one. It's 30 bucks. That's a good one. And then I'm also going to check out, and I'm probably going to switch between them. These new, they're not really new, but they've been around. And this brand is something a lot of people have asked me about. It's 14C28N for a fixed blade. The edge is done really well. And the name of the brand is Watchman. This one is very comfortable, by the way. Very comfy in the hand. They actually did a pretty good job with the sheath as well. I'm not a huge fan of these tech locks they keep sending, though. So DC53 is Russian D2, maybe, but what's weird about it is it also seems to have a higher toughness and worse corrosion rating. That's what I've heard from it. I don't know if that's true. But that's what I heard. And this is the other Watchman that I wanted to check out. So this is a full flat grind, 14C28N, also 30 bucks. They did a really good job with this edge. Like wild for a $30 knife. With micarta, surprisingly comfortable in hand. I like it. Having a bit too much fun with the $30 price point. Have you run across any collapsible pencils? That's a good question. You know, we should make ones that we should do like the equivalency of something like this, but for a pencil, for like a 2mm pencil. I wonder if we can make that work. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that be sick? We could do that. I don't know how to make it work, but that'd be really neat. Mechanical pencil with like actual, you know, press lead, that would be difficult. That would be hard. I don't think there's many small pencils. Oh, you know, that the Oto pencil, that would work. I wonder if we just make take the Oto pencil and then just make a holder for it. Like make like a bigger handle for it. You know what I'm saying? That would be fun. Yeah, but the problem is like those knives are like 30 and tech locks are like 15 bucks, right? I use the discrete carry concepts clips and I really like those. So yeah. Which is shorter. Yeah, the 1mm, but the 1mm leads probably break really easy also. So give and take. Excuse me. So my daughter loves those little O-Pen Mini 2s, this one here. So this one has the, you go upwards, of course, gotta bring it up, and you get a pencil. The problem is she broke this off and then it's stuck inside, so there's no way to get it out. So it's actually not a great solution. And the other problem with the O-Pens is that they use a proprietary pen, what do you call it, refill, and that sucks. Off topic, but what is the best way to get rid of rust off a multi-tool? I've had many, it depends on how much rust. So there's a couple of things used specifically for removing rust off of large mechanical pieces. I think evaporust is something you can use if it gets really bad. But I found that just using a bath of WD-40 and letting it sit removed a lot of rust. And then once you have that removed, like you scrub it and get it off, then I would use a lubrication that is going to protect it. So there are silicone-based lubricants that probably leave a residue. Now, if you're going to use it for food, I wouldn't recommend that. But yeah, something that kind of in that realm. Usually for lubrication, I usually use Super Lube, which is practically a food grade. And that's what I use, but I've always found WD-40 to work really well in removing rust. It's not a lubricant, or at least not the regular version of lubricant. It's a degreaser. It's important to remember that. What would be a good way to carry a full-size pencil on you? Oh, I'm glad you asked. That would be a Lockbee sidekick designed by moi. No, I'm just kidding. A full-size pencil. I mean, if you don't mind having it stick in your pocket, but I like multi-pens. So for me, this is my current favorite pen. It's also the one I'm going to use for the $30 challenge. I'm scared to tell people about it because I want to still be able to buy it for 30 bucks because these are normally 50. But this is the Uni Jetstream. It has 4-in-1. It's a black, blue, red, and pencil. And it has a little attachment on the end for using it with a screen. And if you unscrew it, it has an eraser. That's the way I carry a pencil. This is my favorite. And it's beautiful. It's really well constructed. I think it's a brass pen in general. Screw in. 4-in-1. Very nice writing. Better than the Aviator B3, in fact. Highly recommended. So I had a video making an everyday carry with a total limit of $20 per item. I'm going to do it for $30. So that's going to be like my Lockbee wallet is $30. This is $30. And those fixed blades I just showed, those are $30. And I have a folding knife that I'm going to use. A multi-tool, which we talked about. The multi-tool is going to be the Byberry. And I'm going to carry that for at least a month. I've been carrying the $20 EDC up until last week. I carried it for like a month and a half. No issues. Loved it. But I knew most of that stuff was going to be good. And, you know, like as long as you go with a Casio watch, you're going to be good on the watches. I was a little disappointed with the $30 watch I picked. I went with the AE 1000, which I thought would be so good. And then the backlight really sucks. Unfortunate. So yeah, it's about 8:30. I'm gonna call it a night. I will give a few more minutes if you guys have any more questions, and then we're gonna call it. I'd say at 8:30 we're definitely gonna be done. So that's in the next 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, I did. So there was a bunch of $20 watches that we covered, all of which were Casio, and then we'll do $30 watches for this one. The AE 1000 I had never used. I like the shape of it, but unfortunately, the backlight sucks, which sucks. I could not believe it. Like the 1200, the AE 1200 is the best watch in the world, right? Dollar for dollar, best watch in the world. Not close. The 1000 was a newer version, and I was like, it has the best looking dial. It's so good. And then they messed up the backlight. How do you screw that up? It's super dumb. Yeah, I don't understand it. Why would you do that? Okay. Thanks, Ramses. Appreciate that. Oh, you know, I didn't mention this, but I'm curious if you guys could do me a favor. Those who are here, if you're willing to check out the website, maxlvledc.com, give me feedback. How does it work for you? There's a bunch of different areas for you to check out with different articles. I'm going to be continuing to add a lot more articles in the future. That's where I'll be posting downloads for 3D printed files under resources and free stuff. But if you guys can give me feedback on that, it'd be really helpful. I might even create a Google form for it. So in case you guys wanted to give your feedback in a more constructive way, we might do that. Can I mod the watch? What watch? So that would be great. If you can give me feedback on the website, that would be really appreciated. Have you seen the Convoy T6? Oh yeah. Convoy is a great brand. It's just they don't sell them on Amazon. They're just hard to find because you have to go to AliExpress. Isn't it the T3 is the 14500? The best watch in the world is only $22, okay? It's the watch you have to own. It's the AE 1200, aka the Casio Royale. It doesn't matter how expensive your watch collection is, you have to own one. It's a requirement. You must. Must own a AE 1200. If nothing else, if you own no other Casio, and yes, I know it's not the most iconic Casio, but it is the best one, under 30 bucks. Not close. Probably your plugin, but your Instagram images don't link to your posts. Don't link to your posts. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, Zap. You're talking about on the website? So tiny wrist Casios, I mean, the 1200 is about as big as I ever want to go. I like them a little smaller, personally. There's a lot of them. I mean, Casio just makes so many watches. Yeah, you just look around. Any of them are good. Yeah, okay, the T6 is what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check. I've had an issue with my website where the links stop working, or like when I make the blog post, they no longer show up, which is so strange. Let me see something. No, the links look like they're working. At least on this one. Flashlights. I definitely need to put a lot more articles up there about flashlights for sure. The flashlight category, I just put up one about the top 10 AA's, but I have to redo it because there's a whole bunch of new ones now. Really annoying. What a good problem. Yeah, on your website near the bottom. Let me double check. All right, well, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for the heads up, Zap. I'll take a look. And yeah, you guys have a great weekend. Be safe.